Chicago's news leader. New, fresh, up to the minute. You're watching 10 TV News this morning.
And next, why do people give up on their New Year's resolutions? We have a life coach here with tips for holding on to that motivation.
When this happens, I resolve to stop sympathy eating. I've gained 10 pounds for you.
I'm gonna get organized this year. It's gonna be different than every other year.
I really want to declutter my life. I have too much stuff to clean out of the house.
Don't put off to tomorrow what you could get done today, so I guess I better do the desk.
I'm the kind of guy who'll jump out of one fast food line for another if it's too slow. I need more patience.
I got to get to the gym, want to run at least a half hour, 45 minutes a day.
My New Year's resolution is not to make any more New Year's resolutions because I always break them in the end, and then I feel like so no more resolutions. That's it.
And we understand that feeling. Many of you may have made a New Year's resolution, but as Dom said, keeping them is just so hard. Joining us this morning to help us figure out why those resolutions are so hard to keep is Zoe Guirlinger from the Ultimate You Total Health. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Zoe.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, is there a simple answer as to why these resolutions are so hard to keep?
Well, I think essentially when folks take on more than they have the bandwidth to accomplish, given all that they've got going on in their lives and the current fitness or energy level that they have, that's where we tend to get into some hot water.
Do you think it's this concept that it's all or nothing, no pain, no gain, we're going to do diet and exercise, and it's just too much to try to do all at once?
Yeah, I think that's very true. It's not that we can't exercise and take on some dietary changes at the same time, but to try to, make amazing changes in your body in 4 weeks' time may not be setting you up for success.
We heard Chris say he wants to run 45 minutes a day. I mean, that's not easy to do. Where would you suggest that those of us who would like to try to get in shape begin?
Well, I think the issue is really that we're obsessed with this no pain, no gain approach to fitness. And we know that that leads people to exercising past where their body is giving them some natural messages about, hey, you've had enough, to stop when you have excessive muscle soreness and excessive fatigue. That's nature saying, hey, I need you to rest so that I can make some repairs and make you good to go next time. But people get into this I don't want to be a wimp mentality and really just kind of ignore those natural messages and exercise on damaged tissue, further causing really harm to the body, and at some point the body just says no, and it ends in an injury or an illness or depression or burnout. And this is the point where those resolutions are out the window.
I mean, you've really broken it down. There's a real scientific explanation as to why these don't work.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about diet, because that might be an easier way to approach this. Where would you suggest someone begin?
Well, again, I think it's not going to excess. So the quick fix approach, where we're radically reducing calories, we're swearing off those high-fat, high-sugar foods, really combats our biology. Our biology needs some of that high-fat, high-sugar stuff to release feel-good neurochemicals in our brain. It's a way many of us are sort of coping with life. So long-term, people do well when they don't reduce their calories so low that they make their body think it's starving, and then trigger the biology to help save them from that starvation by getting them obsessed with food. So a lot of people think, well, I wasn't thinking much about food before I went on this diet, but 2 days into it, I'm obsessed with it. Exactly. And that's really nature trying to save us, because it doesn't know the difference between a true food shortage or this voluntary deprivation state called a diet. So not reducing calories so low that you can't have some joy with food, some coping with food, and also over time learning to activate those feel-good neurochemicals in more and more non-food ways, so that as we take down those high-fat, high-sugar food sources, we're rising up other sources, and we don't really feel deprived from a brain standpoint.
Okay, very good. We've run out of time. Really sounds like we need to do this in moderation, not try to take on more than we think we can handle.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. So thanks for being with us this morning.